Greetings everyone and welcome to Storytime with Rob. So you're probably wondering, like I am, what on earth is he up to? What is all this stuff out here? Well, today's message or story is twofold. It is one, a spiritual message, and one or two, a physical message. And both are here to help you to be better prepared in either way. So, did you know that the word light appears in the scriptures 535 times? 535 times. That's a lot. There's a scripture that reads this: light has a relationship to the Son of God. And I think about that as the Son, meaning the Son, S-U-N, and then the Son, S-O-N. And the scripture states this: and if your eye be single to my glory, your whole bodies shall be filled with light. And there shall be no darkness in you. And that body which is filled with light comprehendeth all things. D&C 8867. So I decided that I wanted to share with you some light. And I want to start by telling you a story. So many years ago, my wife and I, we raised 6 kids. And I don't even know, maybe 15 years ago, we lived in a fairly large home, and we decided that in the dead of winter, we were going to do an experiment with our family. And so we did a no electricity week. And it was actually very telling. And we went for a whole entire week in the middle of winter with no electricity. We used no electrical anything. Cooked everything on the wood stove. We had a little stove in our little propane stove. It was as though the power went out and we had to improvise. And as we conducted this experiment, as you know, in the dead of winter, it gets dark fairly early. When we were done with this, and it was one of the most memorable weeks that my kids can remember often. They bring it up quite a bit. I would ask you guys to try it if you feel up to it, but one of the things that we came away with after that experience was over was the fact that we realized we did not have enough light. We had 6 kids, plus my wife and I, with different bedrooms. When it got dark at 5 o'clock, it's like, what do? There's no TV, we can't turn on lights. We only had a few really good light sources. So when we finished this experiment, we decided we need to gear up. I have some different examples of light here. I wanted to share a few of those with you in your preparation as well as it was in ours. So first off, as you know, we all have these guys, right? Flashlights. These little $2 guys, I mean, these are actually really good. They're small, they're super bright, they're LED, they don't use a lot of electricity. I also have the more expensive kind, which this one actually mounts to my rifle. This guy's a little more money, but it is very important to have a very good flashlight, okay? It's imperative. Now you're asking me, well, now you got to have batteries. So we got lots of batteries. However, batteries don't last forever, as you all know. You can recharge them, which we did buy this guy here. This is a battery recharger, and I don't know if you know this, but you can charge regular alkaline batteries. It's not quite as effective, and they don't last quite as long, but you can do that. This one does both. So you plug it in, you put the batteries in here. It has different sizes for everything. You charge them up. There you go. Now you're asking me, well, oh, this guy too. I mean, these guys are fantastic, right? The old headlamps, they're awesome. So I would recommend getting a few of those. Put them in your bug out bag, whatever. We have, you know, the crank flashlight here. These are actually kind of cool, but probably not on my top 20 list, if even that. We realized, honestly, the old school lanterns, we had a few of these and we'd never used one before. And so we cranked these guys up and they were fantastic. This oil that's in this one is probably from the last time we used it, which was back then. And it still lights. I'm going to light it before we leave. We also have battery chargers. You can charge these kind of batteries with. This guy is pretty cool to have too. You put the battery in, it tells you exactly what state that battery is in. Pretty cool. It's just a meter. Shows you if it's good, bad, or indifferent. And of course, I think we all have one of these guys. This is all just a whole box full of flashlights. You can never have too many flashlights around. I would recommend putting them wherever you're going to need it. Put it next to your bed, in the kitchen, wherever you think you might go. So let me show you this one here that we bought too. This is a solar packet. These are 2 solar panels here. It folds up in a nice, neat little pouch like this. This recharges batteries. You just put it out in the sun. It also has this light on top of it. It's pretty cool. It's a Goal Zero. They have newer ones out. This one's a few years old. Probably better, more efficient ones than this one. The nice thing about this guy though is that I can put this out in the sun, and you see all these cables? I have cables for all of my different things. If I need to recharge my phone or batteries or whatever, I can just plug it right in and charge them up using the sun. And it's a fairly simple one to have. So I saved the best for last, okay? And if you don't buy anything on this list, or just one item on this list, this is what you need to get. These are Lucy lights. And I can't tell you how awesome these are. They come in a little deflatable deal just like this. You can see we have them deflated right here. They just, and you actually just blow it up like a little beach ball. Looks just like that. This has a solar panel on the top. Push the button and check that out. So this will last up to 12 hours. And it only takes a couple hours for it to charge. You just leave it outside or whatever, even in the daylight. This is awesome. These float, you can't damage them. They're pretty durable. They are just awesome. They put out more light than any of these lanterns in many ways. You can carry it around with you. Kids can toss it, you know, you play games with it, whatever you want. Float it, not going to hurt it to get it wet. Very cool. Lucy lights. There's other brands as well. I think this one's a Sunlight, but I think the Lucy light is the one that I like the most. That's these. So look it up and get yourself one of those. And again, light is so important. I'm going to light this guy up just to show you that they actually do work, and they're actually really cool once you get to learn how to use them. See how you crank it down like that? They take a minute to get going. But I just want you to know that light is so important. How many times have you woke up and you've been absolutely terrified or frightened or lost, and it's completely dark? What is the one thing that you wish you had the most? A light. Because when you can see around you and you can see and feel what's around you, just like that scripture said, you can comprehend all things with light. Jesus Christ is the light of the world. And I just want you to know that the more light we bring into our life, the more important it is, and the more clarity that we have in our life. And I know these things to be true, And I hope you have a fantastic week. And until tomorrow, be safe.